Hello world. I'm gonna start this blogging and just talking about a lot of different things. Nothing's off limits, and it's just a tragedy about what's going on today. And I guess everyone knows about that precious sweet little girl Jazmine Barnes, who was murdered by some random guy in Houston, Texas, near the Beltway 8 in Wallaceville by the Walmart, just out of pure hatred. It could have been racism too, it was a white male, but definitely we know it's pure hatred, just in very evil spirit. And we have the whole country looking for this man. And I tell you one thing, people, every time I'm driving the last couple days, especially today, I have seen hundreds of red trucks. Before, never. Now seeing all the trucks, and I just want to call the police and stop everybody who's driving one, and just to take a chance. And when I think about that, I said, well, I said that wouldn't be a good idea, because then it's kind of like you're profiling, and some innocent people may get hurt because everyone is out looking for this red truck, and the man that murdered that baby. And it really opens your eyes up to things, to see how easily when it's a black male and they put those descriptions out, and everyone wants to be a vigilante at that point. And I feel bad for the innocent ones who are driving those red trucks, because now they're like targets. They're targets because people are hurt. People are hurting physically and emotionally. I think this has touched the whole country, to see that someone could purposely shoot into a vehicle with a bunch of children, and their mom. It's just like, what is wrong with the country? What is wrong with people? And why so much evil is dwelling in people's hearts these days. And I guess, if we all look back at the Bible, it talks about this. We're in the end of times. I know some people out there like, oh, ladies, stop, don't start with this God stuff. If it was a God, he wouldn't let this kind of stuff happen. So yeah, listen, I get it. I think, sometimes we begin to doubt things because of everything else that's going on, and we just can't imagine how people can still have faith, in our God, and these things go on. But I'm here to tell you that God is real. He's already, spoke about the things that are going to be happening on earth, before he comes back. And yes, it's hurtful to think that he will allow this baby to be shot down like that. And I always try to imagine that when kids die, young people, anyone for that matter that gets murdered like this, I always pray that, God takes their soul first, and that they really feel no pain, and I'm speaking about this and trying to have faith, because you have to believe in something, while you're here on this earth. You have to believe in something. It helps you live a better life. It helps to hold you accountable, and people always say, well, how do you really know there's a God? Well, I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my spirit. When I begin to talk about him and think about him, it does something to my body, and I get to quivering, which means my spirit is being touched, and being affected emotionally, and one day, the Bible says every knee must bow and every tongue must confess. So at that particular time, we will see. But until I die, I'm going to continue to believe in God, because he is worthy to be praised. Regardless of what's going on, I'm going to continue to believe that there is a God. Maybe there's a lot of questions that we have. I have questions too. There's a lot of questions that we have that we want to, get answers to, but only one person can answer that. And people say, well, what happens if you get there and there is no God? Well, then you know what? I have no regrets, because I live my life thinking there is one. Have I lived a perfect life? No, I haven't. Do I still make mistakes? Absolutely. Do I still sin? Absolutely. But do I try to and strive to be better? Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I know I went off on a tangent with that, because I know some people are going to get upset because I mentioned, God. But I cannot help but mention God at a time like this, when a young innocent child have been killed, and a mother and a father and siblings and aunts and uncles and cousins and friends are suffering through this loss. I can't help but mention God, because I know it was God, that got me through the murder of my own brother. I had a brother that was murdered, and I still see the pain on my mom's face at times. And when I see my stepfather, his dad, I know that they are still painting the loss of their son, because no one expects for their children to be murdered and taken here from earth because of people's evilness. So yes, I have to believe in something. That's what got us through. It was prayer that got us through, and that's what's going to get Jazmine's mom through. It's going to be prayer. You see her on TV, and I asked my friend, said, baby, I don't know how she's up there talking. I'll be laid out in the hospital. But then I think about it, you really don't know. And no, I was not in the hospital when my brother died. That was my brother. It wasn't my son. It's a difference when you lose a child versus a sibling. Yes, it hurts. It's going to continue to hurt. And people say it's going to get better. It gets a little better. But that pain in your heart never goes away, because someone has stolen someone from you that you love, someone that you will never be able to see again on this side of the world, so that, the pain just never goes away. Do I still have breakdowns? Absolutely. Is Jazmine mom still going to have breakdowns? Absolutely. But I do pray that she's able to heal and to get better, and to be able to become functional again, and her dad, and the siblings that was in the car and saw their sister get gunned down. I pray for this man. I pray for his soul, and I hope that, he turns himself in, or I hope that he gets caught, and let the justice system work. People say you have to forgive. You do have to forgive. You don't forget. You may not forgive immediately. Some people may never forgive. But by forgiving doesn't mean that, we're okay with it. By forgiving doesn't mean that I want him to walk free. No. If you murder someone and take someone's life purposely, then you belong in jail or whatever. You don't get to walk this earth again as a free person, enjoying life and enjoying your family and friends when you've taken the life of someone else. Some people are going to have a problem with it. They're going to say, oh, well, you're a Christian though, and you believe in that. Well, yes, I absolutely do. Absolutely. That's the word of the day. Absolutely. Matter of fact, that's my word. Absolutely. You stole someone's life. I can forgive you, but I don't never want you walking on this earth again. Never. I don't want you walking free. The boy that killed my brother, as I said the boy, because that wasn't a man. The boy that killed my brother, I don't want to run into you at the convenience store. I don't want to run at you at Papacitos or Papados. I don't want to run into you at the park after what you did. Because my forgiveness is not that strong. I'm forgiving you because you're locked behind those bars, and never to come out until you're an old man, prayerfully. If you make it out. But I don't want to see you. I don't know. I don't know. Most of my blogs may not be this. But, like I said, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, a lot of stuff empowering women, empowering men, our kids, single parents, teachers. But this is like a current event that's going on that we need to talk about. And I tell you one thing, earlier today, my heart hurt so bad. I was, passing by that same beltway, and, and I was, getting ready to go into the Marshalls, and it was a bunch of cop cars out there. They were outside the car. I think some had their guns drawn. I can't be certain. It was so far away, but they were out their cars, over like the hood area, and it was just cops coming and everywhere. And immediately my heart started pounding with excitement, because I thought they had caught this guy. I was like, yes, yes, yes. They caught him. They caught him. And I had to get closer. People were moving out the way. The cops were telling us to go different ways. And so, I got to look closer, and I began to turn my camera on, because I wanted to film that. I wanted to film that victory that I thought was taking place. And to my dismay, my heart started hurting again. What I saw was maybe 4 to 5 black young males, looked to be around 14, 15 years old, no older than 16 perhaps, in handcuffs. 2 were laying on the ground, another one's by a cop car, another one they had, and it just broke my heart, because I'm saying to myself, young people, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I'm sure your parents sent you outside expecting you to come back home, not expecting to get the call from, the Harris County Sheriff Department or the constable's office saying, hey, we just have your sons, we arrested them. And it looked like it was auto theft, and I'm not sure what else they were doing, but what were they doing? It just breaks my heart to think that you're not thinking. It breaks my heart to think that you're putting your lives in jeopardy. It could have been bad. It's broad daylight. It's broad daylight. There's so many officers out there. You see it on the news, you see it everywhere, where you're getting shot and killed, and you're still going out there doing the same thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. I have 2 sons. I have nephews. And I have friends with boys. I work in a school with children, And it just saddens me to think that, what are they looking for? What are they seeking? What are we not doing right? What are we not doing right with these young men? That they're still out here committing these crimes and doing these stupid things that's going to get them locked up. The jails are already overcrowded. We don't need more in there. We need you out. We need you out here making a difference in this world. We need you out here raising your families. We need you out here getting educated so you can be president. Get ready to take over this world and make it a better place for people. We need you out here, not in jail. It's enough of y'all in jail. What can we do? What can we do to help? What are we doing wrong? What do you need from us? Talk to us. Tell us what you need. Fathers, talk to your sons. Pray with your sons. If you haven't seen your sons in 5 years, call them up. Go by there. Go see them. Moms, watch out for your boys. They're not men yet. They still need guidance and discipline. No, they just can't go where they want to go. No, so what? They're boys. They still need guidance and discipline. We have to begin to take back our kids and begin to raise our children again, and stop letting the streets raise them or them raising themselves. We have to stop being afraid of our kids, afraid to discipline them, because they're going to be upset with us and they're not going to be our friends. But listen, newsflash, they're not your friend. We're not their friends. We're their parents. Their guardians or whomever is raising them. I don't need them to be my friend. We need them to mind us and to do what we tell them to do while they're living under your roof. Stop being afraid of your kids. I don't understand how parents are afraid of their children. 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 18, 22-year-olds. When did we become afraid of our own kids? You know when? When we stop disciplining them. I'm not saying you got to hit your children. I wasn't a hitter. But you got to discipline them. You got to let them know who's in charge in your household. Talk to them. Keep them with you. Don't drop them off at everybody's houses on the weekend so you can go and hang out with your friends. Take them with you. Spend time with them. Pop some popcorn, put out some movies, turn off the TVs and put the games away. And make them sit there with you as a family. Let them know what your expectations are. Show some love to your kids. I think most of them are going crazy because nobody's showing love to them. Stop cussing them out. Stop calling them bad names. Love on them. Kiss them. Tell them you love them every day. Before they go to bed, before they get out your car to go to school, before they walk out your house, just say, I love you. I love you. It's easy. It's just 3 words. 3 words that can save a life. 3 words that keep that young man from out of jail. 3 words that keep that young man alive. Just say, I love you. What's wrong with that? We quick to tell our boyfriends, I love you. Our girlfriends, I love you. But we won't tell our own kids, I love you. Come on, people. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. We got to save our children. Black, white, brown, whomever, all children. All the children. I'm not just talking about minorities right now. I'm talking about all children. We have to save them because, see, our kids are getting along better with other races than we ever did growing up. Times are changing. Most children are mixed these days. It's a lot of mixed races. They hang together. They do some of the same things. They think alike. You would think that a kid raised in Houston and a kid raised in New York or Maryland or Kansas would be different because they're different, geographic areas, but they're all thinking the same and behave the same way because of the influences, which is the TV, the social media, the radio. They all are listening to the same things. That's why we have some of the same troubles everywhere. The same exact things. Some places it's worse. But that's why we have the same things, because they're all doing the same thing. They're all watching and listening to the same thing. And yes, I'm going to start holding other people accountable. I'm going to start holding our entertainers and our athletes and our politicians, everybody, every single one of us is responsible for what's going on today. We decided that everybody should just be free and do what they want to do, and we can play what we want to play and show what we want to show on TV. And we messed up with that. We messed up because we stopped monitoring. We stopped caring. We started treating the kids like they were adults. Oh, they can listen to that. Let them listen to that. No, no, no. It's not good. We've messed up. And we want them to fix themselves, but they can't because they're just children. We have to fix them. We have to fix this. We have to fix what's going on. If we begin to fix that first, our kids will have to fall in line. We have to become accountable for some of the things that we have done. How we portrayed the world and portrayed ourselves, and some of the things that we've shown our kids. They're mimicking some of the things that we did. And people always say, well, I'm the adult. They don't do what I do. Don't do as I do. And I get that. Yes, we're the adults. So there's some things that we can do our kids can't do. But how about this? When I was growing up, some of the things the adults did, we didn't even see it. We weren't allowed to sit around our parents and when grown folks were talking. We weren't allowed to sit in the middle of the party when they're doing whatever they're doing. Did we know what was going on? Absolutely. Did we see it at times because we were sneaking? Absolutely. We thought it was fun. It was safe fun. But then we just started getting carried away and we stopped caring what our kids saw. We got kids sitting there having conversations with the adults, interacting and interjecting. Interjecting what? I done got my teeth knocked out. And I was pretty nosy as a kid. I wanted to be in the end. I wanted to hear everything that was going on, what everybody was doing. And I tried it. I was young. I tried to listen. I tried to get it. And you know what? When I tried it, I got my behind toe up. I did. Absolutely. It's just tough. But listen, my 20 minutes is about to be off. And, I'm just praying for everyone. I'm praying for that family. All the families who have lost loved ones to murder. I'm just praying for this world, praying for all of our young folks that, you guys just get it together. Stay safe. Talk to us. Okay? Talk to us. Reach out for help. You know what? I love you.